Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson on Law of Attraction Mastery Training. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, how to use Law of Attraction to attract a relationship. Whether you want to attract a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a life partner. A lot of people have been sending me emails or making phone calls to me about how do I really use Law of Attraction to attract a life partner. Well, there are two different answers for this. But before that, let's do a quick recap on some basics of law of attraction, which we need to remember whenever we're using law of attraction, especially for relationships. First point, how does law of attraction really work? Law of attraction works because we're all made of energy, remember? We're all made of energy. And energy has certain frequency. And law of attraction works on the basic principle that like attracts like, which means frequency with the same energy with the same frequency attracts each other. Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative, right? So if that's the principle that we need to start with, you need to remember that the person whom you're trying to attract is also made of what? Made of energy. So that person also has frequency. You also have frequency. Only when the frequency will match can you really attract somebody in your life, right? So the first learning we need to remember about law of attraction is like attracts like. The second learning, in law of attraction, we never focus on the process. We always focus on the end result, which means if you remember the basic formula, feel, think, believe, and act as if you already have it. FTBA, as if you already have it, right? Now, it's important to vibrate at the exact frequency of your goals. And the only way you can really do that is by not focusing on the process, but by directly focusing on the end result. So, for an example, if you're using a law of attraction technique like visualization or gratitude or affirmations, any of the techniques can be used to attract what you want. But whenever you're using the technique, you must focus on the end result rather than on the process. So, if I want to attract a human being as a life partner, instead of visualizing that I'm talking to this person is listening to me, I like him or her, that person is liking me, and then eventually taking this process to the focus of end result of marriage. No, that's the wrong way of doing it. You would rather directly visualize that you're already married to this person and you're living happily in a beautiful house. That's how you vibrate at the exact frequency of your goals. You focus on the end result, you never focus on the process. Correct? So just remember these two learnings and then we'll start talking about relationships. First learning, like attracts like. Second learning, focus on the end result, never on the process. Okay? Okay, so now that we remember these two learnings, let's understand how do we really use these two learnings and law of attraction to attract a life partner. First answer, like I said, there are two answers for that. So first answer, whenever you're using law of attraction for attracting a life partner, you can use it to attract a particular person as far as both of you like each other, which means as far as both of you love each other. I was in an affair with Indu before my marriage, and I was not 100% sure about marriage, but I did love her. My parents were not very sure about our marriage, but I did love her. So we were in a relationship, we really liked each other. But there were some problems. Problems of me not being financially settled, or problems of I am being indecisive about marriage, or problems of my parents not being so sure about our marriage with each other. Doesn't matter. As far as we loved each other, we could use law of attraction to solve all these problems and create the energy required for marriage. So that's what she did. She started focusing on the end result that she's already married to me. And then she left it to the universe. Then she stopped worrying about whether it's going to happen or not, when is it going to happen. She wasn't thinking constantly about hoga ya nahi hoga, kab hoga. And because of which, a time came when miraculously, I mean, for some reason, my mom agreed. For some reason, my mind became clear that, okay, I want to get married now. And things worked out. But that will only work in your case or in anybody's case when you're using law of attraction is when two people really like each other, which means that the other person needs to be willing to receive your energy if you're vibrating towards them. Because otherwise, if two people are not really vibrating at the same frequency, marriage doesn't really work out. Because what's the first basic principle of law of attraction? Like attracts like, which means energy with the same frequency attracts each other. If you and that person are vibrating at two different frequencies, which means you love that person, but the other person doesn't love you, then it's not going to happen because law of attraction doesn't work like that, right? Now, there's this one question one person asked me, came for a personal coaching at home about, but you said law of attraction works for anything. It's magic, it's miraculous. So if I think that that person loves me, I should be able to make that person love me. Doesn't work like that, guys. Because remember that while you have the ability to create a certain frequency, so do they. They're not simply a material like a car or a phone who doesn't have thoughts. They're a human being. They have their own thoughts, they have their own feelings, their own thoughts, their own beliefs, their own actions. So they have the power to control their frequency as much as you have the power to control your own frequency. So if you want to love them, but they don't want to love you for whatever reason, they are not at the frequency which you are at. I'm sorry, but you can't use law of attraction to attract someone like that. But if both of you love each other, and now you want to solve whatever problems are on the way to get married, whether it's being financially settled, whether it's parents not being agreeing, or anything, all of that can be resolved as far as both of you love each other. You probably know of the example I've written in my book of one of the law of attraction members who's there in our group. She was a Muslim and her boyfriend was a Hindu, Punjabi in fact, which seems like an impossible combination to get married, right? Not just Hindu Muslim, but just like Punjabi and Muslim. Very, very strong combination. But she started using law of attraction, believing that she's already married. Few weeks after that, for some reason, her parents agreed. The guy's parents agreed, and they're married now. They're happily married now. So, what am I saying here? If two people like each other, you can use law of attraction to get married no matter what your problems are. Okay? So, that's the first answer. The second answer about using law of attraction, especially when you're trying to attract a person and you're not sure whether that person loves you or not, is forget about the process. Focus on the end result. What do I mean by that? When you're trying to attract a particular person, especially if that person doesn't love you, you don't need to focus on attracting that person. You need to focus on the end result. What is that? What do you really want from a relationship? You want love. You want that feeling of being connected to somebody. So then simply attract or simply use law of attraction for love and a beautiful marriage. Now, whether it happens through that person or whether it happens through another person, how does it really matter? Right? See, it's like this. There are 10 taps from which water can come. And you're telling God, I want water only from this tap. But now this tap is blocked for some reason. Okay, or booked for some reason. Somebody else is using that tap. And you're being forceful about it, saying, no, I'm rigid, I'm clear. I'm going to use law of attraction only to get water from this tap. Guys, it's booked for somebody else. Okay? What do you need to attract here? Water, not the tap. So simply attract water, and there are 9 other taps. Water can come from anywhere else. Why focus on the process? Focus on the end result. So if you really want to attract a life partner, a beautiful relationship, you really want to attract love, you really want to attract happiness, then focus on that. Feel, think, believe, and act as if you're already married. Married to a wonderful human being who loves you, who respects you. You love and respect that person. You have a great bond, a great chemistry between two of you. You feel the love towards that person which you had just dreamt about. That person feels intimate and love towards you that you had dreamt about. But that dream has now come true. You both love each other. There's a lot of romance, a lot of respect between both of you. That's all you need to attract. And then leave it to the universe, whether it comes through that particular person whom you're thinking about, whether it comes through someone else. It doesn't really matter. Because what will happen if you're desperate about only that person who doesn't love you? Here's what will happen. When that person doesn't love you, firstly, as per the law of attraction, you're obviously not going to attract that person. Because you and that person are not vibrating at the same frequency. But because you're being rigid, because you're being ziddi, what's going to happen? You're desperate. You're negative. You're depressed. You're sad. You're feeling lonely. You're feeling lack of love. You're feeling, why does that person doesn't love me? Now, all of these negative feelings are being generated. And what is feelings? It's frequency. It's energy, remember? So what will you attract now? Not only will you not attract love from this person, but you will not attract love from anybody. Believe me, there is somebody out there for everyone. There is some energy out there for every energy. There is a lock for every key. There's a handle for every door. There's a human being for another human being everywhere. As far as you focus on attracting the right energy towards you. And how do you do that? Like I said, feel, think, believe, and act on the end result that you already have a wonderful life partner who loves you, you love the person, and you both are very happy with each other. So that's the bottom line of this answer. How do you attract a particular person in your life? If that person loves you, you can use law of attraction to get married to that person. If that person doesn't love you, you're not sure if that person really likes you, stop trying to use law of attraction for that person, because you're just going to delay love in your life because of that. And because of all that negative frequency, you will lose your money, You will lose your career, you will lose peace of mind, and you're going to destroy your entire life and start generating negative frequency from every area of life, right? So stop it. Stop that negative frequency and start using law of attraction for positive frequency, which means feel, think, believe, and act as if you're already married. You're very happy with a wonderful life partner, a person who respects you, you respect that person, and you both are madly and deeply in love with each other. All right? So please get over the obsession of that one person in your life, especially if that person doesn't value you or doesn't love you or doesn't care for you. Simply start focusing on attracting what? What do you want? Guys, love and happiness. That's it, right? Now, I know I want to answer this before I go from this video. I know that you're probably thinking, but Mitesh, I want only that one person. I feel if I miss this person, I'm never going to get this love again ever in my life. Guys, let's be logical. You probably felt like this in teenage about another girl or another boy in your life. But you're feeling it again today, right? I felt this at least 5 times. That this is the only person for me and I can't live without this person. It's not true. Love is a feeling you have with another person, which is only created when both of you are vibrating at the same frequency. And that can happen with anybody. If it's not happening with this person today, it's going to definitely happen with some other person if you let it, if you allow that frequency. But if you're not going to allow the frequency of love to come inside you because you're not focusing on love, then the other 9 taps are never going to open up for you. All right? So again, I'm saying stop being obsessed about one person in your life who's not probably interested in you and simply focus on love. Simply focus on attracting law of attraction, using law of attraction to attract happiness in your life and a beautiful married relationship. Okay? But before I sign out, I think Indu has a question over there. Let's see what question she has.
It's not a question actually, it's a point which almost whoever is writing about the love, they are asking that can I manifest this in 2 months' time? I don't have time, I have very limited time. Can I do it in 1 month time? So do you want
Okay, so that's another question that we're getting, and a lot of people are asking Indu very frequently that I have very little time. This person is running away, he's going to some other country. I want to get married quickly in 1 month. I don't have too much time in life. Can I get 100% guarantee from Law of Attraction coaching that I can get married in 1 month? Believe me, guys, if I could give you that guarantee, I would, and I would make a crore rupee out of every person out of you. I would be a millionaire simply opening up a marriage bureau and giving people a guarantee about a life partner. But hey, guys, you know I can't do that. Nobody in the world can do that. If somebody tells you they can do that for you, they're lying, right? So don't be in a hurry. In fact, the fact that you're in a hurry, what does that mean? It means you don't have it. It means you're not feeling love right now. It means you think that love is somewhere out there. You're defying the whole principle based on which law of attraction works, which is what? FTBA, as if you already have it. But if you're anxious, you're in a hurry, you're desperate, it means you don't have it. Then law of attraction doesn't work, guys. Right? So start feeling, thinking, believing, and acting as if you already have love in your life, as if you already have a great relationship in your life. Now, I know you might still have some questions to clarify based on this video. Ask your questions either below this page in the comment section, but the best way to ask questions is directly come to the Facebook group. Because other than me answering those questions, there are more than 200 members, magicians like you, who are going to answer their questions for you
they're
over
very
there.
happy to answer.
And they're very happy to answer. And probably you've been answering some of their questions. So please be willing to ask your questions. By the way, do not feel shy to talk about your problems on the Facebook group, guys. We are a group of magicians trying to help each other to master law of attraction. So don't try to feel shy and write your problems to me on a personal message or an email. I mean, I'll try and answer on Facebook messages, but remember, this is a video workshop. It's an online workshop. So I do not entertain messages on my phone, personal messages, no WhatsApp messages, no emails will be responded to. But if you put your messages, your questions on the Law of Attraction Facebook group, we'll definitely respond on that. Okay? So take care, guys. Manifest love, manifest happiness, manifest a beautiful relationship, and I promise you'll get it. Okay? Take care, guys. Bye-bye. And hey, congratulations for your marriage already. Don't forget to invite me for the party. Okay? Bye.